This was Moses, a man whose holiness was revered and later supported by a mankind desperately seeking a road to a better world. However, before the time of Moses, man, in his confusion, worshipped many false gods, and as a result, the people were enslaved and oppressed. The soul of Moses revolted in horror, and he fled the land of Egypt and went into the desert. And in the heavens that stretch across the endless wastes, he found the secret of life, and he welcomed a new and more dignified God. And Moses returned to the land of the godless and set his people free, and they followed him back into the desert. And then it came to pass that Moses ascended Mount Sinai.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything.
And out of the thunder the voice of God gave mankind the 10 Commandments, and the good prevailed.
But it didn't last. Man soon forgot and strayed from the path of Moses and broke all of the 10 Commandments at once. May I remind you of the endless wars and plundering and rape of the ancient world. You don't have to make so much noise and try to frighten me. I was only proving a point. Take, for example, the Greeks and the Trojans, who fought a pointless war and went completely mad over one woman, Helen of Troy. And your pious story of a one God and the 10 Commandments is really quite ridiculous. Why, this ancient civilization worshipped hundreds of mythical gods, and their god of war probably roared with laughter as he played nation against nation over the face that launched 1,000 ships. The face of Helen of Troy. Egyptians, Trojans, Greeks, Etruscans, all killing, all dying, all breaking commandments. Not because one man or 2 men or a dozen men were wrong, but rather because all of mankind was wrong, because they wanted to be. Are you telling me that those men down there would have fought and died if they hadn't wanted to? Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't meant for you.
Well, that's consoling.
Well, what's your answer to all this?
Sometimes mythology and history become interwoven. Difficult to determine where one starts and the other leaves off. But if we're talking of the ancient world, what about the golden age of Greece, the age of the great philosophers? What about Socrates, with his doctrines of universal humanity which still influence the world more than 2,000 years later? His pupil Plato, who dedicated his life and writings to the creation of a world in which beauty, justice, and love would dominate mankind's existence.